We earlier asked aviation analyst Captain Tom Bunn for his thoughts on the Dutch findings.
Maybe we don't know for sure, but there's good suspicion there was also some radio transmissions that were intercepted by people who talked about shooting it down. I'm sure that the people who are responsible would like to confuse that.
And Tom, the report did confirm it was a Russian-made Buk missile.
Exactly.
Russia disputed the Dutch finding, saying the Russian army had phased this type of missile out. And the Russian manufacturer also held a news conference saying it believes an older warhead had been used. So what are people supposed to believe?
I don't think those are really the key issues here. The main issue is that up until Monday of the week that the plane was shot down, as far as people knew, there were only shoulder-fired weapons in the area, which could go only up to about 12,000 feet. But on Monday, there was a military transport shot down at 23,000 feet, which made it very clear that there had to be a new weapon in the area, and the SA-11 was the only one that anyone's been talking about had that capability. So once there was a shoot down at 23,000 feet, all the airlines should have said, wait a minute, the game's changed. We aren't going to be flying through there. And BA, Qantas, China, Cathay Pacific, Korean, and Asiana, they stopped flying through there. Why other airlines did, I don't know.
So this report makes it very clear. It does not blame Russia. It does not blame Ukraine, except to say the airspace over eastern Ukraine should have been closed, as you mentioned. Does that mean absolutely no passenger plane should have been in that airspace?
Well, they said that, yes, that some authorities that owned the airspace should have shut it down, but that is not necessarily all you need. Any air dispatcher who knows that a plane has been shot down at high altitude in that area should know better than to send a plane through there. Each airline should have been able to make that determination on their own.
But the airspace, should it have been closed by Ukraine?
Yes, it should have, but the airlines themselves should have not gone through there even though the airspace was open.
I understand. Okay, so the report also found the missile had detonated above the left-hand side of the cockpit, causing structural damage. Tom, how do they know that?
Well, they look for the pockmarks from the shrapnel. Missiles don't actually usually make contact with the aircraft before they explode. There's a proximity fuse that when it senses the magnetic field of the airplane, then it detonates the weapon. So it's typical that it would be some few feet from the airplane when it goes off. And then all they need to do is to look and see where the pockmarks are.